before you hire an agency, make sure that you actually fix these things, right? The first thing is your foundations, right? Now what ends up happening is these a lot of businesses, they end up hiring these digital marketing agencies who spend a lot of time making their funnels, who spend time making their website, and then these people are like, hey, run my ads, right, or run my marketing campaigns, right? And when these agencies ask these business owners, hey, who exactly should I target in my ads, or who exactly should I put as the keyword when I'm trying to do SEO, a lot of these business owners, do you know what response that they give? Anybody who has money, right? Now the problem with that is, since your targeting is not on point, since you do not know who your specific ideal customer is, who your niche is, what ends up happening is a lot of these business owners then end up getting low quality leads. Now not too long ago, I asked one of my clients who had hired a digital marketing agency in the past, and I asked them that, hey, when you hired that agency and you got low quality leads, who was your targeting? And then that person said, my targeting, I target business owners. I'm a wealth coach, I help business owners. And then I asked that person, hey, do you realize one important thing? A business owner can be somebody right next to my house selling chai and making 10,000 rupees a month, all the way to somebody like Ambani and Adani who are in the top 10 Forbes richest list, right? So who exactly are you trying to attract? And then these business owners end up blaming these marketing agencies that, oh, these marketing agencies do not work. No, the problem is with you, because as the founder of the company, you yourself do not know your target market, and how do you expect these agencies to figure it out for you, right? Something to consider. Now the other thing is pricing. Now what ends up happening is a lot of these business owners, they charge very less, and they tell these digital marketing agencies to bid on very competitive keywords and go find them high quality clients to somehow pay them money. And when they actually get on a call with these people, due to their lack of sales skills and other 10,000 different things which I'm going to explain later, these people end up actually underselling their valuable advice and services, because of which, guess what, the economics do not end up matching. This means that these people spend a lot of money on ads, and what they get in return is thela, zero, nothing, right? And then they complain that, oh, the fault is with the agency, they don't know what to do, they selected the wrong keyword. No, the problem is you're charging too low, because of which in the competitive keywords that you're trying to target, there are so many other people, there are so many other businesses who can pay a lot more money than you, because they know at the end they will actually make their money back. For example, do you know, if let's say you own a gym, right, and you run ads, right, and then let's say you have limited capital and you're not funded, right? Now let's say you spend 100 rupees and you are expecting a customer back for 2,000 rupees, and you're planning to make a profit of 1,900 rupees. Do you know something? Do you know brands like Anytime Fitness, or even bigger brands, they don't mind spending 6 months worth of their cash flow to acquire a customer before they actually end up being profitable, because these businesses have been running for decades and have so much cash reserves that they can actually overpower you, right? So as a result of this, what ends up happening is the business owner, due to charging less, get overpowered by these other people. Because think about it, if you were Google and you had Anytime Fitness willing to pay you more money for the same bidding, right, and then you had like this XYZ gym, right, who nobody had heard about before, who is like, hey, if my lead cost goes above 100 rupees, I want to pause my ads, right? Who do you think Google will prefer out of both the options, right? So there's that another factor. And then the third factor why a lot of these ad campaigns do not work and a lot of digital marketing agencies fail to produce results, because a lot of these businesses do not have a compelling offer. This means that when they present what they're doing to the market, it's so boring that nobody wants to click on it, right? So if your offer is boring, why would you want to click on it? For example, you decide to click on this video. Why? Because you found the video title to be attractive. Now similarly, ask yourself one simple question: out of so many people out there on the internet, why should somebody click on whatever you're offering? Okay, so that's there. So those are just the foundational issues that people end up blaming the agencies for. Now let's talk about the other issue, which is called as sales. Now a lot of these businesses have very very low conversion rates because they do not spend their time learning sales. And what they do is, as the founder, especially this I've noticed with IT people, right, they love product, they love coding, they love development, but when it comes to sales they are like, I don't know, somebody else will figure it out. And if you're not a, like a funded company with crores and crores in your bank account, and you're a solopreneur who's bootstrapping and you don't know how to sell your own thing, how do you expect other people to do it for you? You cannot do that, right? Because if you don't know a specific skill, for example, if you don't know coding, how will you teach it to somebody else? But Rohan, I will find another manager who can do it for me. Who will train that manager? Who will educate that manager about your product or services? How will you come up with the perfect strategy? And if that person can sell on your behalf, why don't they just take your product and copy it and make something of their own? Right? So think about that. And then as a result of low conversion rates, your the marketing campaigns of these businesses do not perform, and then they end up blaming the marketing agency. Oh, it's the fault of you people. It's because of you giving me low quality leads. No, it's because you suck at sales. Just improve that, right? And then the third reason, why a lot of marketing campaigns do not end up working is because of fulfillment issues. Now, a lot of businesses, they are not able to extract sufficient lifetime value from the customer. Remember the example I gave of Anytime Fitness? Do you know why they don't mind going in losses for 6 months before they see any money from their customers? Because the lifetime value of their customer is known. This means from one customer, let's say Anytime Fitness makes 1 lakh rupees, so they don't mind paying 40,000 rupees loss for the first 6 months to make 60,000 rupees in profit over a year period of time. You don't have that much time to do that, and in fact you don't even know these numbers. In fact, you are not even tracking these numbers. So how would you know that you will become profitable on ads eventually, right? Then comes customers leaving. There are churn issues. There are always people are like, since think about this, right? Let's say you get 100 customers, right? And you have, like, let's say 10 customers leaving you every month. Now let's say you hire this marketing agency who's doing marketing for you and getting you leads every now and then, right? And let's say 10 months later they give you 100 customers, right? But you were losing 10 customers anyway every month. So by the end of the 10-month journey, how many customers do you have again? 100. So your business grew by 0. Now guess what you're going to do? You're going to blame the marketing agency. Oh, you don't get us results. It's something wrong with you, right? But the problem is that your business is broken, right? And then the last thing I want to talk about is a lot of these businesses are obsessed about followers, likes, comments, and all these vanity metrics that nobody cares about, right? Sure, if you are Kylie Jenner, you have a huge influence, you can make a lot of money with your following, right? I'm not denying that. Most people over here are not Kylie Jenner. That's why you must understand that followers should not be your goal. Now, if you're going to hire an agency and tell them to, hey, go get me 10,000 likes, wala bot followers or whatever, right? And then you expect them that, hey, why am I not rich yet? Like, these are the reasons, right? So just before you start blaming your marketing agency, just before you actually just go out to the market, Rohan, I just want somebody to do it for me, right? You must understand that if, as a business owner, you do not fix these problems, you do not find a coach or a consultant who can sit down with you and fix all these problems with you, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up having shitty marketing and a shitty business, and then you're going to end up playing the blame game.